and learn the intricacies and the nitty-gritty of how certain things are made. So all these MS-DOS viruses, you can start reading up on how things work. Now, this is assembly code. This is source code for some of the malware. This specifically is Canab2, which this is written in assembly code. So again, if you're looking at it very low level, DOS assembly stuff right here. So if this interests you, there are actually channels that'll explain how to do this. One of my favorites is Route 42. Another one is John Hammond to explain how convoluted this can get. Programming Hello World is a 15-minute video. This malware itself, and back then for DOS malwares, this is what their source codes used to look like. Of course, if this interests you, you can look through how some of these old ancient viruses worked, peek at the actual guts, and see what it took to execute them, and generally what exploits that they were taking advantage of at the time. So again, this is just DOS source code. There's obviously far more intricate malwares to look through here, but again, if this interests you, feel free to play around with the source code, maybe even compile it, see if you can run it for yourself. Do what you want. The world is your oyster. Again, please play responsibly. Some of this stuff, while it can't damage you, alright, again, some of the more higher level viruses that you're looking around, which some of them are still used today in some variant, you probably want to be a bit careful with. What's actually even wild too is they've got like actual legal briefs on two massive organizations like Revel and Raid Forums. So if you wanted to read like federal indictments, motions to seal, all of it is actually available right over here. Not that I think I can show some of these. They might be publicly available, but they probably contain some serious personal information, and I probably don't want to be diving too deep into them. Conti, for those of you who have no idea, was a Russian hacker group that primarily specialized in the ransomware as a service category. We've looked at this before, and what these people have done is use the double extortion technique. So basically, you know, ask a ransom from an organization that they would hack by, again, encrypting their data, and then also stealing it and then selling it as well too. So this was a truly evil organization in terms of, again, how they would victimize certain groups, certain, you know, firms. And again, this is ransomware as a service. So if you don't know, basically these people provide the service, somebody hires them, and they skim a little bit of money off the top. Anyways, these leaks consist of, again, their internal systems. Some of them actually consist of educational material, which is rather hilarious to watch. Because it's literally filmed as if like this was literally designed to be played in some university course. The other thing to look at are a set of email leaks, not just email leaks, but chat log leaks. So if you know you're Russian or you got a translator on hand, you can read exactly how these criminals communicated with each other as well too. You know, there's so many leaked informations as part of this actual hack collection that one could probably make a pretty good video showcasing the entire timeline of Conti as a group. And I'm joking about their training. I was kind of overselling it. At the end of the day, a lot of their training just comes from free resources, like most people learn from. In this case, it's Pen Tester Academy, who's basically teaching them how to defend themselves, so to speak. But yeah, their training materials, leaks, very intriguing stuff if you wanted to look at the mind of a cybercrime gang. What they also provided are building tools for actual ransomwares as well. So if you wanted to build your own ransomware, you could. Not that I recommend you need to do that. That is bad, ladies and gentlemen. But what's interesting is some of the stuff that I was looking at and researching for videos before, I actually finally have access to. So I think what I want to do now is go back to some older virus investigations and maybe retouch them up. Now that I've gotten access to the actual malware that I wanted to truly investigate versus just researching it on the side. Now I get to fully experience it. Okay, so obviously we're not going to make a whole video just exploring this hard drive. What if we take some of the nasty pieces of malware off of this cyber nuke and decide running it on an actual system and just see what kind of damage it can do? Now in this situation, we are not using a virtual machine. We are not even using a computer that I primarily use. What I decided to do was use an older computer that was sitting around. This is the first actual real gaming computer, gaming laptop that I ever actually managed to go get. Now since then, I've upgraded to a different laptop. This is several years old. We're talking about a laptop that still has like a mechanical hard drive. This is still running on like a very old version of Windows 7. And at the end of the day, it's a laptop that I can actually like be fine if it completely stops working on me. Again, do not run any of this stuff on your basic system, but that should just be expected. The other thing over here is I'm turning off any form of antivirus software, obviously, since we're running malware, especially malware that has, some years attached to it. These are going to be part of an AV definitions file, meaning that, like, because some of this malware is from, like, pre-2010, obviously Windows 7 has an idea of, like, this existing, and it's immediately going to stop it right there and then. So we're going to stop any form of antivirus from stopping any of our efforts to destroy this computer. And also, because if we don't turn off the antivirus, because there are so many pieces of malware sitting inside this system, this can actually blue screen a system entirely, because it's literally parsing so many virus samples scanned at any given moment. It's not that it's running the malware, it's just that it's detected so many that it's crashing the system. So there's two reasons to turn off the antivirus. The other thing over here is we are not connecting to the internet. We are not connecting to a local area network. We are not connecting to a router. Shit, we are not even plugging this system into a capture card. I am being very careful here because this video is, again, I'm playing with some malwares that I haven't truly been given the time to properly assess. So we are keeping everything strictly air-gapped, meaning this is not touching my network, this is not connecting to any system out there. And if you come up with some sci-fi method like Muda, maybe it's sending out a piece of software through the speakers on the system and very inaudible sounds, and your other system is recording it and parsing data, I've read the April Fool's joke. No, that's not happening here. So let's plug this into a system, go over there, and just start running some of these malwares together. Okay, so here it is. We've got an air-gapped computer sitting in the dark, as you can imagine. So I got some Dan OCT style of recording going on over here, a little cozy. But the reason for this is no virtual machine. This is actually a piece of solid hardware, a computer that I once used